Okay, let's get this thing started. It is Thursday night, 8:30. You're probably watching the Players' Championships right now as this goes out live, and you might switch on a bit later when you're getting bored of that. But hopefully a few of you tune in because, like I said, it's hard to pull away. We're competing with another, I was going to say a major, the fifth major as it's commonly known. So hopefully, like I said, at some time, if not 8:30 on Thursday night, at some time in the next few days, you'll have tuned in and watched the Thursday night golf show. Anyway, welcome as ever. I do wonder who is perhaps on the top of that leaderboard right now at the Players' Championship. Some great pairings going out, none more so than Dustin and Rory. That's an interesting one. Not a bad place to start in terms of world news either, because Rory was spotted, and you can confirm whether he's playing with it in the Players' Championship. On Monday in practice round, he was spotted with the M2 driver in his mitts, and also a few rumours going around that he's about to sign for TaylorMade on a club deal, which would be really interesting. Perhaps a little bit of a technical term, this one, kicking the nuts for Callaway, because he was on their Epic driver, and I'm sure they'd like to have signed him up on a contract. And if he moves over to TaylorMade, maybe it's just pound note speaking, I don't know, but in terms of endorsing a product, it's a big boost for TaylorMade, that one. But yeah, he's going out today with Dustin Johnson. What a great pairing that is. Not sure who the third player in the group is, actually. Is it 3 balls? Anyway, be interested to see how he's getting on with that driver. Now then, I'm glancing down here because I'm looking at what order I'm going to do this in. I mentioned, was it last week's show, the week before, we were talking about caddies, the need for and why do you have them, or why are pro and tour players afforded the luxury, I suppose. But in a couple of instances in the last week, caddies have been, well, given a bit of a heave-ho. Most noticeable one is Danny Willett has had a few tantrums with his long-term friend, let alone caddy. Decent player, this lad. I haven't wrote his name down, but anyway, he's jibbed him off the bag. They've had a little bit of a bust up, and ended up splitting up mid-round. New guy on the bag from well, at the Players' Championship this weekend. So be interesting. I don't know the reason. There was nothing written as to why they'd fell out or what went wrong exactly, but it's an interesting one, this, for me, because and I'd be interested in your thoughts on what is your opinion on Danny Willett from what you've seen of him. And I asked that question because when I was rooting for Danny Willett when he won the Masters over 12 months ago, and I thought it was great sort of rise to prominence. What a great story it was. After winning that Masters, he went up to world number 9. He slipped down to number 21 in the world. He's missing cuts. He's struggling. He's struggled since then, whether that's to deal with the level of expectation since winning the Masters or whatever, I don't know. But I've gone off him since I've seen more of him and his personality. I don't know, I struggle with him a little bit, and I just wonder what the issue is with his caddy. And I noticed, I watched him, fellow YouTuber, he played in a Pro-Am event, I suppose you call it, I think it was anyway, with Rick Shields in a video that he posted a couple of months ago. I don't know, he just, for me, came over a little bit arrogant. I wasn't overly impressed with him then, but again, maybe I misread it, maybe. But what's your opinion, and what's your opinion on these bust-ups with caddies? Because I suppose it's a bit like a friendship. This thing was built on for, like I said, he started off as a friend and became his caddy, and it's always difficult to mix business with pleasure, I suppose, and ultimately, you know, it's a business, a big business that they're in, and whether he puts some of his failings in the last few months down to his caddy, I don't know, or maybe it's just a bit of a spat. Who knows? We'll wait and see how his new caddy gets on this week, or interim caddy maybe. But another guy, and I'm going to read down this one, Grayson Murray. He had a bust up in the middle of the final round in the Wells Fargo last Sunday, and another little bit of an argument. This guy's a bit of a character, this Grayson Murray. I think he's been a bit controversial in some of his comments, and again, he had another bust up, and his caddy dropped the bag and walked off. And I think, as I understand it, he had to literally pull some. Oh, just kicked the camera there. He had to pull somebody out of the crowd to come up as his carry his bag for the rest of the round. So anyway, there you go. So a few tips there in the world of caddies. Right, so let's just stick with the Players' Championships before I move on. As ever, a little bit of fun, a little bit of a giveaway. Stick down below who you think is going to win the Players' Championships. Don't forget, some of you will have had the beauty of there'll be some rounds already underway and played, but it never really works out that way anyway. So you can have that. You can have an early pick if you want. But anyway, Thursday night 8:30. Get your names in. Got to be in by let's say Friday morning. But you've got to have your name in before the start. I'll allow you before the start of the second round, so you can have the advantage of even seeing who is on that first round leaderboard. But get your names in, and once again we'll put a bit of a giveaway together. So it'll probably be something like a cap, sweatshirt from, well, I'll tell you what, we'll go cap and hoodie from the Taggers range. That's the Average Golfers range. So yeah, all you have to do, stick your name of who you think will win, and we'll see. Anybody who picks the winning player, we'll get some goodies sent out to you. Right, now then, Champions Tour. So don't forget, Champions Tour is for, and again, I should be a bit more factual really, but I think it'll be over 50, I think, is the qualifying age. I'm right to say? Correct me, no doubt you will, down below if that's incorrect. It's 50 or 55, but I'm almost 99% I'm going certain on it being age 50. Anyway, first of all, Nick Faldo is going to play in his first Champions Tour event in the next week or so. So it'll be great to see a bit more of, or will it be, what's your opinion, a bit more of Nick Faldo back behind on the tee, and see if he can replicate some of his former glories on the Champions Tour. But a great addition to the Champions Tour, that one is, I think anyway, personally. I always like to see Nick Faldo playing golf. Some people even like his commentary. And then you've got another big name, John Daly, big person as well. John Daly and character won on the Champions Tour last weekend. His first victory since he jumped aboard. I think it was about 12 months or so. It was 12 months because I think his first event he played in was the actual one he won, which was 12 months prior. So as ever, John Daly was understated in his dress code on that final day. Nice pair of patriotic trousers he wore there. You'll never miss that fella on the fairways. But again, great character. And I think this Champions Tour is really going to attract some big attention in the next few years, because there's some big names that are on there, and they still play some absolute superb golf. So I can see the Champions Tour just getting bigger and bigger. So well done to John Daly. Now then, we are going to talk about course vlogs. Now, I've done a few, not a lot, we've done a few. And the question is, why does everybody watch course vlogs? What do you like about them? Because I don't get it. And I suppose the difficulty that I have is that I want to produce content that, first of all, that I believe in and would enjoy perhaps watching myself. So it's very difficult. So people say, oh, you should do more course vlogs. And I've done a few, and they're okay. But ultimately, I think watching someone else play golf for 18 holes in 4 parts, I find it personally a bit tedious. I can't watch them. I just really struggle. And so what I want to understand is, to persuade me to do more, is what's so interesting about them. I always think about it is, it's ultimately a 4-ball. That would I follow a 4-ball around my local golf course and watch from the fairways and in the background? And I couldn't think of anything worse, to be honest with you. But anyway, it's a big thing on YouTube, and ultimately I suppose you have to do what people want to see. So I'm still not going to be persuaded no matter what people say, but I'm really interested to see why people like them. And what I've decided is this. I've done one this week. I'm going to do my favourite thing in terms of playing golf and videoing it for YouTube is our Man vs Golf Hole challenges. And they've been, to be fair, they receive, I think people like them. They get some decent comments, and people suggest that's the kind of thing they like. So basically what happens is I play 1 hole against the card. So whatever the stroke index may be, I either get a shot or I don't get a shot, and the winner will be, well, it'll be a winner, a halve or a loss. to the card myself, and that's always decided over one hole. So what I did a couple of days ago, I thought, well, I don't like doing 18-hole course vlogs, they bore me, and I can't really, the other thing I struggle to keep my attention span in a game of golf for 18 holes, so to then actually have to worry about pressing record on a camera as well, I just thought that ain't gonna happen for me. So with the success of the Golf Sixes, and it was a success, from every report that you read, it seemed to be very, very popular. Crowd attendance wasn't great, I'm not suggesting the viewing figures were great, but all the kind of euphoria around it in terms of what was reported was very, very positive, and what I seen of it I really, really enjoyed. I digressed a little bit here, haven't I, into the Golf Sixes, because that was going to come a bit later, but we'll just sort of we'll put them all into one, because it will lead to why I've done a shortened version of a course vlog. But Golf Sixes, again, I think this could be, I'm not saying the Golf Sixes format will stay around, but I think the shortened version is the kind of the smoke going off, the music in the background, the high fives on the first tee. I mean, a couple of characters, Andy Sullivan, what a great guy he is, and the golfer that played the other week is as well. Come on to the first tee, high fiving, plenty of fun. Credit to them, because I think what it needs, Golf Sixes or that kind of format, is only going to work when the players themselves buy into it and the bigger characters get involved. And I think Andy Sullivan and Chris Wood were a prime example, and others joined in the fun, were happy to go along with it, and it was really great to see that little bit of relaxed atmosphere. The shortened version worked great, the playoff was superb with the kind of the nearest the pin stuff for the playoff. All round for me, it's a major stepping stone in introducing a new format to golf, and I hope it goes from strength to strength, and we keep pushing forward with some new ideas such as that. Anyway, get me breath back. Back to what I'm going to do to upload, and it's got no relevance to Golf Sixes, but it is a shortened version of something. I don't want to do course vlogs, I've said that several times over, but I like the Man versus Golf Hole Challenge. So the simplest thing to do is we're going to do a Man versus Golf Holes Challenge. So instead of one hole, it'll be over 3 holes. I'm going to try and film a little bit more extensively about the hole that I play, a lot more flyover stuff, a lot more from all around the green, so you get a better idea of exactly the hole and the challenge that you face. And we'll do our very best to record some footage of me actually playing, so you get a good idea of where I've sort of how the hole has panned out. And I did that on Monday. I have to say I did it on my own, so camera, drone, golf clubs. It wasn't easy to film, but as the first one went, it was quite good. And here's a little bit of a footage from my visit. It was at Northup Golf Club. This is what happened. See if we can get one on the dance floor. This could be good. Sit down, ball. Sit down. Well, it's the right distance, it was slightly... Okay, so watch that one in full. As ever, link will be down below, and like I said, I hope to improve on the filming really of what we're able to produce in terms of something for you to watch and enjoy. So hopefully that gets better in the weeks ahead, but like I said, have a look at that video as well. It should be up, I think that went up last night, but if you haven't watched it yet, link down below. And then the other game for me this week is I visited Eastham Lodge Golf Club, which is literally, I don't know, more than sort of 10 miles from where I live. In the area, it's one of the few golf clubs, and I can't even think of another, that I haven't played within a sort of, I don't know, 15-20 mile radius. And so finally got the chance. We got Paul Williams, a keen supporter of the YouTube channel, got in touch a few weeks back. We arranged a date. The first one got cancelled actually due to some grim weather, but I got back there yesterday. Now then, I'll point to this screen up above, and hopefully you get to watch some footage of what went on with Paul at Eastham Lodge. But he's actually going for out of the bunker here. We'll give it a whirl. Come on mate, pull it off. Played a really steady game, to be fair. He's played well. Come on. Oh, mate.
Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant.
If you didn't get to see any footage, that's because I got back too late and I didn't have time to edit it before this show went out, but let's hope you did. If not, I will have edited it by the time this goes out on Thursday night. I just won't have been able to edit it in time to go into the Thursday night show, but the link will still be below to watch that video in full. Anyway, I've had enough of your time for this week. I'm back out next week on the fairways with another the start of this 3-hole challenge, so I'll be doing another one of those next week. I've also got a video, my irons. Few people have asked and have noticed that my Srixon irons had disappeared from the bag, and what happened when I got fitted for the Srixon irons, the C-taper shaft, which 120 stiff shaft that is in my MP5s, was not available for me to try physically test in the Srixons, and the iron, or the shaft rod that I did try, I liked it, seemed good, fine. I ummed and ahed as to whether or not to just buy it with the C-taper shaft fitted in it, even though I hadn't tried it physically. I decided against it. I went with the shaft that I tried on the day, and over the past couple of months since I've had the clubs, I always keep going back to the swing weight of the MP5s, and I put it down to the shaft and the C-taper shaft rather, and it's just, again, it may well be a sheer waste of time and money, but in the back of my head, ever since I bought them, I prefer the swing weight of the MP5s. So what I've done, a week or so ago, I put them in to be reshafted. I'm going to have the C-taper 120 stiff shafts put into the Srixons, get them back in the bag, and hopefully there'll be a video to compare the two clubs then in terms of a very much a like for like, and see if I can get the improvement and the consistency, and like I said, that swing weight that I particularly like that's in my MP5s. But we'll do some testing to see how they fare up. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to let you get back to the Players Championships. Thanks for breaking away to watch for a short while. As ever, comments down below, thumbs up. What else can you do? Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. Don't forget, winwithtupload.com. Thank you very much for all the people that went over and entered into the competitions. That's brilliant. 3 competitions still running. They'll be up for 3 or 4 weeks. So don't forget to get yourself over to that website and enter if you've already not. And enter with multiple email addresses as well. It's literally, the more times your name is in, the more chance you've got of winning. So do that. That's it, I think. Everything else is just as ever. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. Enjoy your week, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the Players Championship, and hopefully one of you, maybe more of you, will pick the winner, and we'll send some goodies out. So thank you and goodbye. See you soon.